All right. So this week we're taking on episode 203, Earthquake. I know it was directed by Michael Spiller because I have a picture of Michael Spiller with the boys. I think I still have it. At some point, maybe I'll start posting some of my old behind the scenes photos. Um, Michael Spiller will go on to win the Emmy for Best Director. I believe this year, and I'm not sure if it was for this episode, which episode it was for. I know the boys were dressed up and they were probably going to a pepper party. If I had to guess, that would be where I put my money. I can't remember for certain. I remember Phil and Claire, or Claire being stuck in the bathroom with the plumber, and Phil. I think Phil doesn't really try to let her out because he forgot to do something, maybe earthquake the house or something, and so he has a chance to kind of let her out and doesn't do it. Maybe. I don't remember the Jane Glory storyline. I will, I'm sure, when we get into it. But for now, I cannot remember what that is. But without further ado, let's just get into it, and we'll do episode 203, Earthquake. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens here.
Mom, the party is like around the block. I'll be gone for 2 hours.
Yeah, that is 2 hours you could spend studying.
I have been studying all weekend. No friends, no phone, just me alone with books. I feel like Alex.
Here, I fixed the step, didn't I? Look how solid it is. I'm like Shirley Temple and that black guy.
Bilbo Jangles Robinson.
Bilbo Jangles Robinson! I said it first!
So this is the problem. Faucet just keeps leaking.
This is the first time I think...
If I know my washers, and it's been leaking a little while.
I think it's the first time we see the actual bathroom, right? Most of the time we're shooting from that angle. So we have a camera inside the bathroom to do the hallway stuff, and maybe then we're in the hall shooting the bedroom stuff. I don't even know if we've ever seen that door open. Maybe we have. But this is the first time I think we see it, and we certainly had to dress it. So... And we spent a good portion of our time in here, and it was tight. Luckily, there's another door that goes into Luke's room, which is actually where our camera is positioned right now, so they can get this shot. But it made it a little bit better. But it was a tight little bathroom. It was a tight little space.
It could be a washer, a cracked valve, a stripped pipe.
Well, I guess I'm not a professional plumber, but I have spent a huge amount of time in that tub. I can tell you from experience, or at least what it feels like in there. Girls!
Oh God. Okay. This is stuck.
Oh, we're gonna die! We're gonna die!
Better not. If they
oh, Lily was crying again.
Very bad for the games.
Oh, poor Lily.
We're okay. Dad!
Luke! Buddy! You okay?
All right, earthquakes. Couple of grips shaking the walls a little bit. Probably a piece of monofilament on a chandelier to pull it, move it back and forth. Maybe the slightest bit of camera shake if with our operators, but I didn't even really see that. And then we go ahead and make a picture go ajar, and maybe poke a thing or two through, like the medicine cabinet was open, and so if you shake it, some stuff falls out. And then you add the sound effects. That's your earthquake. Looked fine. Looked good. Sounded great. But very simple, very simplistic Hollywood stuff. We didn't do anything. We didn't write a new chapter in it. Ooh, no.
That thing almost fell on me. I was sitting there and it came this close to my head.
It's all right. You're okay. You didn't get hurt.
Well, I'm not gonna wait around here until I do.
Okay. Wow.
Another great stunt. Oh, another great stunt by Luke. How awesome is that?
Hey, are you guys okay?
Nolan did a
We're
job.
fine. You?
We're fine.
You're alive!
Yeah, of course I'm alive.
Okay, so I think maybe we originally had a scene where Luke was on the couch too. Maybe we opened with Luke on the couch and that thing on top of him. So look at the top of that. Holy smokes! Look how dirty the top of that was. Woo. Josh ever sees this, he's going to be absolutely and was maybe I think Amber was still maybe a decorator, or we may have moved on to Michael. I'm not sure who was decorator at this time. I have to look. But anyway, it's dirty. Look at how dirty that top is. That's terrible. Bad work by us. We should have done better work there. But to be fair, I think we got there, and Josh was kind of knocking stuff over. You see the lamp. Over here is knocked over, and you see right there, just starting it up, making it look like an earthquake. And then I think somebody told us, "Hey, that thing just fell on Luke, so you guys got to topple that over." We were like, "Oh, yeah, sure, no problem." So me and Josh laid it down, wedged it against the wall, and then wedged it against the couch there. And then on the other end of the couch, so the couch didn't slip it out from under it, I think we kind of blocked off the legs. We got a couple of blocks from the grips and blocked those off, and nailed it in. And I think that Luke originally started on the couch underneath of it when Phil comes in. It's like, "Are you okay?" And then I think we actually changed that. But the plan was for Luke to start under that. And so before Nolan got on set, we had it laid down. We're like, okay, me and Josh felt good. And somebody goes, all right, did you guys anchor that to the wall? And me and Josh were like, yeah, just give us 1 second. That was the final finishing touches. Like at that point, it almost becomes a stunt thing or special effects thing. Like there's certain things, it falls to us. We didn't have those departments on there that day, but I remember me and Josh being like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, we got to do that too. But we also have to hide the anchors of where you're putting it, and you see that angle there. It's hard to. You have to put it in here somewhere where you hide the anchors and you hide the lines so camera doesn't see, but it still gives it enough support that if it were to fall, it wasn't gonna fall on anybody and hurt them. So I remember Josh actually putting wall anchors in and anchoring that up. But I remember both of us being like, "Huh, oh yeah, before we put our actor in there, we should probably anchor it to the wall." Yeah, that's a good idea too. Just little things that you remember when you're just like, "Oh, this now is kind of our job." I guess maybe technically it is our job, but we just didn't think about it when we were kind of decorating the house and stuff. Plus getting all that stuff out of the bookcase, which technically should be on the floor. As you can see, we put some of it over here as well. Like it would have fell there, it would have fell on the floor, stuff like that. Everything that was in that case.
For now.
What?
Nah,
Don't judge me until you've had a teenage.
Vic.
I've had 4 of them.
God, how did you survive?
Vic Palizos, I think, playing the plumber, does a great job. Just another wonderful job casting by our casting director, and great acting job by our guest cast. So wonderful work there.
Of that.
Girls were a piece of cake. It was the boy. Every look on his face, every stupid decision he made, the way he sat there chewing his food like an idiot. And then it hit me why this kid drove me so crazy. He's me.
Well, all the more reason she should listen to me. I can stop her from making the same mistakes.
Did you listen to your mother?
No, God, no. But
Yeah.
I had a reason. That
Bad
woman's
edit, not bad
psycho
edit. I can't do not the editor's fault, not the bad edit. But you can see there, we cut between takes because he's faced more forward in that wide, and then when we cut into this, he's already turned to her, so he's in that position. And then when you see it and you're in the wide, you can see. So we weren't shooting his. While we're shooting this, we weren't shooting. There we go. So while we were shooting this dead on, we weren't shooting the. My Lord, where's this at? All right. Anyway, we weren't shooting this coverage this way on it. And you'll see it. It's just some of the problems you're gonna have if you're editing. You know what I mean? Body postures will be different sometimes, and it's not ruining. It probably didn't take 99% of the people out of it, But it's things that you look at and then you just try not to obsess over because you cut together how you cut together. So if you're seeing this and you're going to be an editor and these things bother you, just realize that, I mean, I'm pointing it out, but not a lot of people, nobody's going to care. Very few people are going to care.
She should listen to me. I can stop her from making the same mistakes.
Did you listen to your mother?
And it wasn't
God, no,
egregious
but,
either.
You know,
It's just
for a
his body
reason,
is
that woman
slightly
was a
turned to us.
Psycho control freak.
We're surrounded by a lake of fire.
There are fiery lakes in heaven. This is turning into hell.
Tell me about it.
Tell me about it. So that day at the golf course, a little weird. But I will regale you. We are on the cart path. Ed is sitting on a bench on the cart path while we're setting up the shot. And I'm actually happen to be beside Ed. And who walks up but Richard Schiff from plays Toby Ziegler on The West Wing, if you're familiar. He's played in a lot of stuff. But Richard Schiff kind of just happened to be golfing that day, happened to be where we were at, and walked by and saw Ed, and they sat down and they had a good conversation, like a nice conversation that I got to be privy to, and just, you know, I was talking to Ed for some reason, so I was kind of in it, and then I stepped away so those guys could have and to talk and stuff like that. But it was just those weird things that happen in Hollywood sometimes when you're shooting. There's a photo bomb we'll talk about later. That wasn't odd because the person that photobombed was actually directing the episode. But it's those weird things that just kind of take place. Also, I am a huge West Wing fan. I think it's one of the finest TV shows ever made. Richard's portrayal of Toby Ziegler is quite possibly, it's in my Hall of Fame. It's quite possibly one of the best performances. I mean, it's in there as a best performance. We had an ensemble cast. West Wing had an ensemble cast, and every one of them was absolutely brilliant. So it was a good day, you know, out on a golf course in nature, and, you know, one of your favorite actors walks up and talks to another one of your favorite actors. So yeah, good day. Also, I think
What are you doing?
we're breaking plates.
Pepper broken dishes.
And I think I have these same plates in my house. Yep, I have those. Those are Target specials. Target.
Dishes, so I'm breaking dishes.
No, not my frog. I know you think it's tacky, but I happen to have won this at my first 4-H summer camp in a hollerin' contest.
Well, we wouldn't have to break anything if you were a better liar.
If you're trying to make me feel bad about not being as good a liar as you, what are you doing?
A hat rack fell through the window, remember? 1, 2, 3.
Mitchell, wait.
Special effects day right there. Not for the plates or something, but they had to put breakaway glass into that window, and would have to replace it if we did take two. But as you can see, a little trick of the trade, we didn't show him breaking the window. We just showed him punching it through, and you hear glass break, but you never see that. So special effects might not even have to be there that day. We may have already had that pane of glass out. He just pretends to break it by putting the poker through an empty pane frame, and then we add it in post, and then we don't have to see it. I don't know for sure. Maybe we did break it that day, but we certainly just didn't see it right there.
I can't do this. I quit. You might be comfortable with all this lying, but I'm not.
Oh, please. Where was all this conscience when I got us into the first-class lounge at the airport and you chewed Angela Lansbury's ear off? You know what you are? You're like a mob wife. You look down at me and my ways, but you're happy to wear the mink coat that fell off the back of the truck.
How dare you?
Oh, there it is. Okay, so it is. We did have broken glass, so we must have broke it once, and then we were like, just leave it. Don't worry about it. We'll fake it the rest of the time, and we'll just keep that in the wide. So, or maybe we broke it 2 or 3 times, but we certainly didn't see it when we did it the first time. And here comes Pepper.
I know. It really hit us bad.
No, I'm just always surprised how small this place is.
Pepper, you didn't have to leave your party to come check on us. Great. Costume, by the way.
This isn't my costume. I just threw this on to help you clean up.
Well, about your party.
Oh, don't worry about canceling. At least you have an excuse. Unlike Stephen and Stefan.
Stephen and
They said
Stefan's
they
first
had
one.
the flu. Meantime, I just saw them out riding their bicycle.
Oh, Pepper, that is horrible. I'm gonna make you a cocktail.
Oh, honey, don't go to any trouble. I'll just have a Kia Royale. I mean, my God, if they didn't want to come to my party, just say it.
All right, so at first, the first take of that joke was a Bellini, and then we upped it to make it even more fancy. You know, something that would be just purely Pepper. And herein lies the problem with not problem, but one of the many jobs of property. The first part of that joke was that he's going to make him a drink, and it was probably going to be just champagne and orange juice. You know what I mean? Whatever the boys would have in the house. And then we got there, and I remember Abraham was on set for this. Abraham Higginbottom, which was one of our writers, very, very talented. He may have wrote this episode now that I think about it. It's probable. I didn't look back, but I bet you Abraham did write this episode. And so they started spitballing on, well, okay, well, if it's not that, then what could be even more eccentric for Pepper to find or ask for? And one was a Bellini, which I think is actually, you have to have champagne and maybe orange juice and apricot juice. Tangerine, I think apricot maybe. And then whatever he asked for, which I still don't know what that is, but I had to at the time because if Mitch would have to come back in, if we changed the scene and Mitch has to come back in it, I have to have something in his hand that looks like what Pepper asked for. So I have to now, on the fly, research, okay, well, what's in that? What's it look like? Okay, do I have the ingredients to make that? If not, do I have food coloring enough that I can make it look somewhat presentable that they're bringing that out? I think Mitch actually begs off and comes in with something else because they didn't have whatever was supposed to go into that. But that's a lot of things that happen on the day right there, is that we will change the writing. And if it's something that is a prop, then I need to come up with how to make that happen. And I need to do that fairly quickly, probably within, 5 to 10 minutes, if that. If we're still lighting, I have a little bit more time. But if this was take 2 or take 3 and they're like, hey, we should change it to such and such, then I have to, and we actually change it, then I've only got a couple of minutes for me to try to be able to research it, which I'd go to the writers and say, okay, well, what's in that? What's it look? And look it up online. I mean, nowadays with Google and everything and images, it's so much easier. But back in the old times, man, if you were to switch, you'd have to, every prop man has a bar book, a handbook that we still have it in our kit today. Every kit has a bar box, and every bar box has a drink book in it. So you'd go to that drink book and you'd look through it and you'd see what it was made of and know the colors, and then try to whip up something that looked like that. But that's just one of the things that happens while you're on set.
I'm a big boy. I can take it.
Well, since you brought it up, Pepper, we didn't want to come to your party either.
What?
Well, you know we love you, but they've just gotten to be so much work over the years, and
We're all out of cassis.
I can't bear it.
I will make you a Bellini.
A Bellini.
Everybody canceled on me. And now you
Cassis.
too. For 15 years, I have killed myself setting a community standard with my fanciful theme brunches mounted at great personal expense. Well, clearly I've been a fool. No one likes your brunches, Pepper. No one likes you. You're gonna die alone in a quaint Spanish revival outside of Palm Springs. Por la Quinta.
He's so good.
I told him.
Yeah, I puzzled that out.
I just don't understand this bad section of.
As good as that is, as funny as that is, as amazing as that is, it pales in comparison to seeing it live. And Nathan Lane is that person. We've had him on a few times. And every time he has been pitch perfect, amazing, hysterical live. And it just comes through great on television, but he's a theater guy. If you ever have a chance to see him, don't hesitate. Run, don't walk, because Nathan Lane is a wonderful performer that does wonderful stuff on the small screen and the big screen, and is funny and is brilliant. But it is even better when you see it live. And that performance right there was perfect. It was to me a 10 out of 10. So to say it's even better live is almost not really fathomable in reality, but it is. He is so funny live and so perfect live that you can't believe it. You're like, this is going to be amazing, and it was amazing. It was excellent. But yeah, the small screen nor the big screen cannot contain him. He is a true performer. He is fantastic and a great person. Just a very quiet, wonderful person, wonderful man.
Heaven, what if they send you to the wrong place?
I'm mad that I could just. Oh!
Really?
Really?
Yeah, oh, you don't know the pain, Cam.
Oh, boys! Boys, I can't stand that I'm coming between you.
The frog. Okay, so obviously we had to have multiples of those frogs. So I had, probably 4 maybe or 6. I'm not sure what we had. Do we glue the frog maybe back together at the end of this too? So we would have had to have even more frogs, broke them, and then glued them back together, so we have the glued piece at the end, if I'm remembering correctly. But this is also when I started a little tradition here, because I'm kind of, well, I'm not kind of, I'm a geek. I'm a nerd. I play video games. I know collectibles and that area. I go to Comic Cons, things of that nature. So I actually had key props from certain episodes when we had guest casts, and this is the first time I had Nathan Lane sign a couple of those frogs. And I was thinking, we'll give them to the office, because once you become a part of the show, a lot of different charities ask you for things so that they can auction them off to make money. And I knew, as a person that loved the show, or loved TV series such as, West Wing or Firefly or things of that nature, that those would be huge ticket items. You know what I mean? Geeks like us, or at least me, go crazy for, a signed prop from the show, or a signed prop from a movie, or a figure or something like that. So I think I had him sign at least 1, if not 2 of those, and I handed it off to the office, and I was like, here, I'll start doing this, and then when people write you for stuff for auction, charities and things for auctions, you guys will have stuff. I did this for a number of years, probably at least till season 5 or 6. I mean, I remember Ellen Burstyn signing a cereal box because we were in the supermarket, and Luke and her have a scene together, and so her and Nolan, and so I did it for a good long time. And then one day, I think like season 5 or 6, I was like, so the stuff that I've been sending has it been garnering attention? Have you been sending it? They're like, no, nobody's ever asked for anything. We do this. All they want is posters and t-shirts, or posters and signed scripts, and so that's all we send them. So all that hard work that I did, not hard work, but all that thought and stuff that I put into it, and having these actors sign this stuff, and that were, key props that I would have loved to have, nobody cared about. I think they all sat in the office, and some of them may have, went home at the end of the show with people, and it's a wonderful little keepsake for them. I'm sure somebody has a frog with Nathan Lane's signature on the bottom of it somewhere. But yeah, I thought I was being, very smart and crafty, and at the end of the day, it didn't matter. All the charities wanted were scripts. So there you go.
Not that I'm surprised.
I would have loved to have that stuff, though.
I admit I have noticed the stolen glances in the
It's nice.
Well, if heaven's in the sky, What do you walk on?
Hey, Manny, don't be ridiculous. The clouds.
That makes no sense. Clouds are air. You'd fall right through them.
The clouds in heaven, they're like trampolines.
I don't like trampolines. They make me seasick.
Manny, stop worrying. Heaven is a beautiful place with sunshine and rainbows and butterflies.
Butterflies?
I know, no.
No,
I
no,
didn't say butterflies, Manny, there's no butterflies.
Butterflies. Ah, what a great tag too. This was a wonderful, wonderful script of callbacks. Just so well written. We'll have to look and see if that was Abraham, but it feels like an Abraham script. Maybe Abraham and Jeffrey wrote it together. I can't remember, but it was an excellent script. A top-notch episode. Like, I think that will end up in a canon somewhere, certainly in a top 20. Might make top 10 too. I mean, that episode is canned, it's all in the Dunphy house, it's all in the Cam and Mitch house, and then it's a little bit in Jay and Gloria's, and then all on the golf course, except for that church shot at the end, which was just down the street from Fox. So it's kind of a canned episode, and just that's how you do it correctly. It's just perfect in every way. Anyway, I loved it. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you have friends that would enjoy this, maybe pass it off to them. I'd appreciate it, and they may appreciate it. Next week, we will be back at it, knocking out another episode. We'll go to 204, but until that time, see ya.